I just wanted to put out there one of the questions that we had from Stefan. It was such a brilliant question that I wanted to quickly do a recording on it as well. So the question was about the HIIT workout that we did today, actually. So the HIIT being 30-15s, we did 4 of them. And when we really struggle with a method of hitting intensity, do we have to do it? Like, what's the benefit of doing it that way? Is there another way that we can do it? And what is some of the differences? So first, I just want to say that the high intensity interval training is done so that you're hitting a high power, incredible force, recovering a little bit, and then trying to keep that force really high up. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute. A sprint interval. So you're having, 30-15, 30-15, very little rest. So the heart rate stays high. A sit workout, a sprint interval training is when you hit a really high power and then you recover sufficiently and enough. You create the time and the space to then hit that really high power again. It's not the powers that you're looking for in a sprint interval training versus a high intensity interval training are quite different in profile, in that the sprint will be even higher than the high intensity interval training. So we also have another thing called zone 5. So what's happening in a zone 5 is that and it might be a 3-minute or 4-minute, 5-minute, you're holding and maintaining that really high power. What I want to show you is what this actually looks like and what are the benefits of them and what is it that let's come back to the intention of what it is that we're trying to do to stay strong, stay fit, to keep showing up and doing things. So I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to show you, this is a high intensity interval training set. So you can see here, and I'm gonna look at the second one because usually at the first one you can see was like, holy smokes, like I totally just nailed it, really got a really high power, and then the rest were a little bit less. So it was that initial, I've got a ton of strength here, and then we came into the workout and then noticed like, oh man, now I'm starting to get it, this is starting to get really hard, and then I don't even know if I can keep going, but somehow I come back around. So in the second one, what you can see here is that if you look at the power profile here, you're looking at an average power 243, 211, 188, and 198. If you look at, so those are all quite high, right? So then if you look at what your average power is over the course of the almost 3 minutes, you're seeing a power of 164 because you're dropping the power in between. So if we think about what is the load onto our muscles, it is really high. We're really getting that stress that we're looking for to activate the muscle fibers and to say, I'm going to be strong, I'm going to get strong. Now let's look at a different workout that is a zone 5. So we look at here, and this is a beautiful one done. So I just want to say, so just remember, so that was an average power of 162 with a heart rate, I didn't say, of 151. So an average heart rate, average power. When you look here and you look at these incredible, like let's look at the second one again, just so we're comparing apples to apples here, because they can totally steady out. Power 162 and heart rate of 152. There's even places in which we hit some of those high powers. So she was really pushing into it, but had a little bit of a trouble holding it. So what is the difference here? Well, first of all, both workouts are putting her in a high stress state, right? We want this. This is good stress. Like we want to say, okay, From a heart rate perspective, she nailed, like it's about the same. From a cardiovascular health perspective, it's about the same. From a stress on the muscles, that's where we start to see a little bit of that shift. Now, say you really hate high intensity interval training. How does it look if I don't do it anymore? Is potentially the question. What can I do? I have to do this? Like, I hate it. It's not, mentally, it's really tough. And I want to say, if we're doing, which we do, sprint interval training in which you are really pushing into that muscle fiber, right? If you're doing the zone 5 training, which we do, you're getting that high, strong heart rate. You're getting that sustained average power. You're getting the force in the muscle. You're learning how to apply it. The only thing that you might be missing from that high intensity interval training is the torque that you're getting and like those quick little things. But you're getting those, you're getting beyond that in the sprint. You're just not kind of getting that mid region. Okay, we do weights. We do strength. We have other ways. So then what we can do, and I want to assure you, if there's something like we're here to enjoy, we're here to stay healthy, we're here to stay strong. And if you say, Tennille, I hate high intensity interval training, what I want you to do is I want you to make it work for you. So for example, Steph says, I don't want to do high intensity interval training anymore. It drives me nuts. I'm going to say, okay, so let's look at the next high intensity interval training workout. All right, so here we have ones coming up on June 27th. We don't do it all the time because we have lots of other things going on in between. Very different type of workout here than we had. So this one is going to be 9 minutes in length, right? What I would say to Steph is, why don't we do this? Why don't we, instead of doing it 40 seconds on, 20 seconds easy, I want her to try this. She's going to want to change her power profile. So we can make it so it's 110 to 112. So we know, wow, that's right in what she was doing before. I don't want her any higher. And I want her to say, okay, if I'm going to do 9 minutes, I'm actually only going to do 3 minutes. I'm going to take, or 4 minutes, I'm going to take 1 minute break. And then I'm going to do another 3 minutes and then take a longer break here. So she's getting the stress. She's getting the heart rate. We know what her targets are that she's successfully done, but she's going to want to take a break and take, like, can't do 9 minutes at that. That would be like torture. So go for the 3 or 4 minutes. See, it's like, okay, I know I can do 3 minutes because I've already done that. Can I go for 3.5 minutes, take 1.5, 90 seconds break, and then go for another 3.5 minutes? That would be another way of doing it, right? So, and then just coming in. It can work for you. What are we trying to do? We're trying to get to that uncomfortable place. We're trying to say, can I push my it's really cardiovascularly. And it's about translating some of that power and the strength that you're doing in your strength training into the sport that you love, and like pushing through, and it's super fun that way. I hope that helps. I hope that we can find joy in the things that we do. We don't have to do exactly as prescribed. And if HIIT is really just like grinding it out and you don't want to show up, then let's change it because it's more important to you. I know, especially it's like if your intention is to show up and to, like be consistent and showing up, then I want you to kind of love it, because why do it then, right? So that's my answer. I hope that helps. See you soon.